Shams Charania is reporting. Woj has the same thing and citing the agent, so they got the mass text, and Shams just beat Woj to Twitter. The Bulls and Nikola Vucevic are nearing a 3-year, $60 million contract extension. So, first thing that I'll say is, well, we don't have to fire AK today. Because if they would have lost him for nothing, that would have been I would have called for it. Because then you needed to trade him at the deadline. But he clearly knew correctly that he was in a great spot with Vooch, and Vooch wanted to be here and maybe was even able to take some sort of discount or anything like that. And they got it done. So good job on knowing your own player. I thought Vooch had a great year. I did not think Vooch was the problem for the Bulls last year.
I did not think he was the problem, but I don't think he was utilized to the best possibility. And I will continue to hope that they run things through him in the post a bit more often, because I think he's a very good, willing passer from the post. And too often I've seen him be used as like the guy who gets the ball while he's running, and he ends up in this kind of awkward situation.
Yeah.
And I'd rather see them lose DeMar and have things more run through Vooch and Zach as a tandem. So I'll be hoping for that. But the way they're constructed, it doesn't feel like it's a great and wonderful thing to have this part of the core back together, but I'm still holding out hope that this is not the whole core coming back together.
I think that's reasonable. If this thing had to be done. It had to be.
Yeah, you couldn't lose him for nothing.
You can't lose him for nothing.
And is the number freakishly high? No, it's not as low as maybe I might have hoped. Joe Cowley said maybe we'd get a hometown discount on this. Right?
Yeah, well, so it's weird. So Cowley clearly is kind of tight with Vooch and talks to him in his camp, and he's like hometown discount. But then Ricky O'Donnell, who's a good NBA reporter, said they bid against no one but themselves. Vooch wasn't coming close to $20 million per year anywhere else, given the cap landscape.
See, that's my fear.
I don't know if that is accurate or not. I'll take him at his word on his reporting. He's a good reporter who, was based here and knows the Bulls closely and follows the money side of the league. But if you don't pay him, like if you said we'll give you 3 for 15. He's like, well, I can get 3 for 15 from a couple of other places. Don't disrespect me. Look at what I was top 10 in the league in minutes. I was a double-double machine. I was a good soldier, even though the ball, I wasn't getting touches in the fourth quarter because you're ball-dominant guards. Like, it's not my fault that the team isn't built perfectly, I wonder how much that had to do with it, like rewarding your own and keeping him.
Sure. I don't know. And then there's the part about the salary cap that, there's certain slots for things like this number, whether it was 18 or 20, is not going to affect the 12 mil exception slot that they can use for a free agent. I don't know if this was 18 or 20. Does it affect their ability to match of the restricted free agents that are going to be both Kobe White and Ayo Dosunmu, because AK already said he's going to do the qualifying offer,
which he did,
and you can just match those things, and so that doesn't necessarily affect it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, all signs are pointing to next year's Bulls team looking very much like this year's Bulls team, and we'll get much more of an idea about that starting Friday. Do they make offers to other people? How long? I mean, they've got 72 hours to match on restricted free agents, so it won't all play out immediately.
Yeah.
But we'll see what offer sheet, if any, Kobe White gets from another team. If some team tries to put like a poison pill in the contract and like front load it with a huge first year value or something to try to make it really tough for the Bulls to sign. Like they matched the Sacramento offer sheet for Zach pretty instantly because it was an easy one to do. So we still have some time here on this, but just in a vacuum, I think the Vooch move was, if I had to put one word on it, necessary. They had to do it. Now, if you wanted to come up with a sign and trade, different conversation. But I don't think that they look at him as the problem. And their defensive numbers, like if you trust the defensive metrics, even without Lonzo,
they're
a pretty good defensive team last year without having true rim protection and with DeMar being slow on the perimeter.
Yeah, there were times like in Vooch's couple of years here so far where I had moments. I remember coming in here once and talking to you like, there's a Vooch problem. They have a Vooch problem, but I'm not there anymore. And it was short-lived because I see the value in what he brings, and they've been able to be competent defensively, as you say, even with what some of his limitations are. And his attitude is great. His work ethic is great. His teammateship is great. His willingness, all of that is money.
Yeah, and I mean, they need a rebounder. They need someone to do it.
So now what's next, though? Now what's next? You scare me when you talk about it looking a hell of a lot like last year's team.
I think that it's just brace yourself, man.
Yeah.
If they brought back Vooch and they're probably not trading Zach because you assume that would have happened before the draft because you assume you would have been you would have been able to get a first-round pick for Zach. I think trading Zach is a lot less likely after the draft comes and goes.
Yeah.
And then the last thing that would make it look radically different
is point guard.
Well, it would be trading DeMar. Would be trading DeMar.
Right.
And so maybe that happens.
Yeah.
But I'd be pretty surprised given that it's an expiring deal and that contract should hold value through the years as long as he's healthy.
On Sunday night, just before I established myself as the king of the dainty mid-five with Luke Canellis, they asked me who I thought was going to be the opening night starting point guard for the Chicago Bulls. I had to declare. You know how I hate to do that, Danny.
Yeah, no, I know. And you didn't have your trumpets, and I wasn't there. It was rough.
I had to proclaim all alone with no trumpet, no partner.
Proclaim on camera.
I said Kobe White.
Yeah, I think that's the heavy favorite.
I said
now.
I dreamed of more, but if I had to pick, if I have to declare right now, your opening night starting point guard, I said Kobe White. To your point of this team, boy, this team looks familiar.
Yeah, I mean, so if their opening day starting lineup is Kobe White, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, and Nikola Vucevic,
championship.
That's with Alex Caruso as your first name off the bench.
Maybe Io DeSumo.
No, see, I will say
you got to change the shooting profile. He said he was going to do that.
I think that I will say that there will be a top 7 piece that is different. That is different. Whether it's Mo Bamba or whether it is a shooter, like a shooting
Max Strus.
Yeah, right. So like Dante DiVincenzo.
I would take either Dante DiVincenzo or Max Strus instead of, sadly, Io. In terms of what your needs are, Io's been a great story, and I love it, but you need shooting. You desperately need shooting.
I will say that in their top 7, there is a piece who was not on the team last year. But in the starting 5, I would bet against it.